Hi everyone, welcome to this Erasmus Plus Schools Opportunities video for the 2020 call. This video will take you through some of the basics of international opportunities and funding for UK schools. This is primarily designed for workers within school education with little or no experience in the programme. If you're looking for guidance specifically on how to apply, please refer to our written application guidance on our website. So just to run through the agenda for the day. So today we're going to look at a general overview of the Erasmus Plus programme. We're then going to focus in slightly more on the offer for schools specifically. Within schools, there are different funding streams, as you can see. So you can apply for funding through covering professional development for staff, exchanges, international opportunities for students, and wider strategic partnerships for schools as well. We will then touch very briefly on how you can apply, and then we'll go over the various resources and support available to you as Erasmus Plus applicants. Okay, so what is Erasmus Plus? Erasmus Plus is the European Union programme for education, training, youth and sport, and the current programme runs from 2014 to 2020. Its chief aim is to modernise and enhance education and youth work across Europe through international collaboration, funding life-changing international opportunities. As we've already mentioned, it's open to UK schools, but as you may know, it's also open to colleges, universities and youth organisations as well. It's delivered in the UK by Erasmus Plus, UK National Agency, which is a partnership between British Council and Ecoris UK. As today's video is for a schools education audience, from your point of view, it is fairly straightforward, as only the British Council manages Erasmus Plus for schools in the UK. So this video is being recorded at the start of the 2020 call. So for this call, 41.8 million euros of funding is proposed for UK schools. This is available for UK schools and colleges providing general, vocational or technical education to students aged 3 to 18. This funding is also accessible to local and regional authorities, school coordination bodies and consortia. I have already touched very briefly on the different types of activities that can be undertaken by schools through Erasmus+. So let's have a look in a little bit more detail. So through professional development, staff can teach, train or job shadow abroad to help develop their professional practice in amazing ways. Through international exchanges and study experiences, students can develop a plethora of new skills and raise aspirations. And as you can imagine, a huge range of opportunities can be unlocked when schools create partnerships together, which is also an option under Erasmus Plus funding. So here's a list of the countries that can participate in the Erasmus Plus programme. The programme countries are those who belong to the EU and also include North Macedonia, Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein and Turkey. So let's quickly have a look at some of the feedback that we've received from beneficiaries of the programme from different sorts of schools and organisations. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at school education, staff mobility in a little bit more detail. So Erasmus Plus School Education Staff Mobility Funding, also known as Key Action 101, enables teachers and school staff to spend time abroad in one of the Erasmus Plus programme countries, either for professional development courses and training events, job shadowing and observations, teaching assignments at partner school organisations. Projects can last from 1 to 2 years. However, participant activity can last for anything from 2 days to 2 months. Taking part is a fantastic way to enhance professional development for staff and to support their career aspirations as well. It's also a great way to help staff feel valued and to bring fresh ideas and best practice into the classroom. So let's have a quick look at how the funding itself works. So travel includes the return travel cost of participants, including any accompanying persons if required, and these are unit costs. Course fees are self-explanatory and they are calculated as unit costs at €70 per day. Individual support also calculated as unit costs. And individual support is for subsistence of participants, including accompanying persons. Special needs costs are directly related to participants with disabilities and accompanying persons, including travel and subsistence, as long as it's justified and hasn't already been requested. And these are actual costs. Organisational support covers the implementation of mobility activities. So this considers things such as preparation, monitoring, validation of learning outcomes and dissemination. And these are also calculated as unit costs. Okay, so moving on to school partnership funding now. So as this diagram shows, there are a lot of options available to you. But in the interest of keeping things as simple as possible, let's take it in small steps. So school partnership funding comes under the Key Action 2 funding stream. Firstly, on the left, you'll see an activity called School Exchange Partnerships. This gives pupils the chance to undertake long-term study mobilities from 2 to 12 months, or shorter-term pupil exchanges, which can take anything from 2 days to 2 months. Here, staff can also undertake long-term teaching or training or study mobilities, again from 2 to 12 months, and participate in short-term staff training events as well. On the right-hand side of the diagram, you'll see strategic partnerships for school education. These partnerships are more focused on either developing innovative resources or intellectual outputs, or serve as an excellent opportunity to share best practice between organisations across different sectors. So as I've previously mentioned, within school exchange partnerships, or Key Action 229, you've got short-term pupil exchanges, which can last from 3 days to 2 months, long-term study mobilities, which can last from 2 to 12 months, long-term teaching or training mobilities, which can last from 2 to 12 months, long-term study mobilities that can last from 2 to 12 months, and short-term staff training events that can last from 3 days to 2 months. So as this video is geared towards newcomers, we thought it might be useful as part of this video just to give you a quick example of the type of projects people manage through Erasmus Plus funding. So as part of this project, full steam ahead, we've got partners from Spain, Czech Republic, Finland, and the UK working on the project. Their motivation is to develop STEAM teaching and learning skills through project-based work focused on the partner's cultural heritage and to reinforce a sense of belonging to a common European space. The 2-year project will include a combination of short-term student mobility, staff training, and ongoing project work between international classrooms. The budget, as you can see, is broken down as €16,500 per year per school maximum. So let's just move on to strategic partnerships, or Key Action 201. As previously mentioned, these aren't just for schools, but for any organisation working within school education. So these projects are all about innovation and tend to focus on creating new tools and resources for the sector or sharing best practice between partners. To be successful for Key Action 201 funding, the partnership needs to demonstrate that it has a need to exist, working on a topic that's important to all involved. The planning needs to be extremely granular, with clarity on what will be done, by whom, when, how, and to what standard. Each member of the partnership will be scrutinised in terms of their own contribution to the project. So here, when looking at the example of a Key Action 201 project, hopefully you'll see some of the obvious differences between this and the last example we saw. Initially, we can see a much wider range of countries involved here, so we've got about 10 in total. You can see it on the, you can't see it on the slides, but this exchange of good practice includes schools, further education colleges, and other third sector partners as well. And this project was successful because it met some of the criteria that we've just discussed in terms of shared purpose, planning, and justifying the project's aims. So for Key Action 2 strategic partnerships, the project grant is a contribution to the costs of delivering the project and may not cover all the costs. The grant is made up of a menu of budget items, some of which are calculated on the basis of unit costs, and some based on an estimate of likely actual costs, as we've seen in the previous slide. Not all budget items will be applicable for every project, and the project budget needs to be built around the planned activities, not the other way around. Some budget items are only available for supporting innovation projects, and some can only be approved when they are adequately justified in the application. For example, exceptional costs and special needs support. So all projects will have requested funding under project management and implementation. This budget is a lump sum grant to support the costs of managing or being involved in the project, smaller scale activities such as project websites and all dissemination costs. This also covers funding for the implementation of transnational youth initiatives and school exchange partnerships. PMI is calculated based on the number of partners and duration of the project. So most projects will also have requested funding under transnational project meetings to support the participating countries in meeting up to discuss the project and plan project activities. However, this budget item is not available for school exchange partnership projects. This grant is calculated on the basis of a unit cost per participant to cover travel and subsistence, with a different unit cost for short and long distance travel. Supporting innovation projects may request additional budget items such as intellectual outputs funding, which is a contribution, the staff time associated with tangible deliverables, which must be substantial in quality and quantity, with potential for wider dissemination and exploitation. Examples of tangible outputs include curricula, pedagogical materials, open education resources, IT tools, studies, and peer learning methods. Multiplier events funding is only available to supporting innovation projects which plan to develop intellectual outputs. This funding supports the dissemination of the intellectual outputs produced by the project beyond the immediate project partners and beneficiaries. The 3 budget headings shown here are available for either types of strategic partnership where required and justified within the application. Exceptional costs and special needs support budget items are calculated on the basis of a percentage of the estimate actual costs. In both cases, the need for the cost must be fully explained and justified within the application. Where insufficient justification is provided, the requested costs may not be approved. As mentioned, it is also possible for projects to include training, teaching and learning activities where these are embedded within broader project objectives and will support the achievement of these. Where these activities are planned and justified, funding is available to co-finance travel, including top-ups for expensive domestic travel where justified, subsistence, linguistic support, and exceptional costs relating to expensive travel to or from OCT and ORs. There are a number of specific rules and criteria which apply to each budget item, so it is very important to refer to the detailed budget guidance in Part B of the programme guide as you complete your application. And when I say programme guide, make sure that is the most up-to-date programme guide, so in this case, the 2020 programme guide. Okay, so if you are looking to apply as part of the 2020 core, applications are now open. For further guidance on how to apply and to access the application form, please visit our website on the link provided. As you can see, for Key Action 101 or School Education and Staff Mobility, the deadline for applications is the 5th of February 2020. For Key Action 2, so for Key Action 229 and Key Action 201, School Exchange Partnerships and Partnership for School Education, you do have slightly longer to apply, as the deadline for applications is the 24th of March 2020. So it can often be quite hard to know where to find partner schools, especially if you're just getting started, to find out more about training courses available to you. So fear not, because we can certainly help you with this side of things. So initially, if you need some support in finding training, teaching or job shadowing opportunities, on the School Education Gateway website, on the Erasmus Plus Opportunities tab, you can find the course catalogue, which is professional development courses for school teachers and staff. It's got thousands of training courses across Europe, covering topics such as school leadership, inclusive teaching, mental health, digital learning, languages, STEM, supporting migrant and refugee children, and much more. You can also find opportunities for school staff to undertake teaching assignments and job shadowing in a host school or organisation abroad. As I mentioned, you can also find partner schools or organisations across Europe to carry out joint projects that aim at improving standards and the quality of teaching and learning. Alternatively, on the eTwinning website, You can find suitable partners for Erasmus Plus projects across Europe and beyond. You can collaborate with other teachers and pupils within a secured online platform. You can also access professional development and classroom resources too. So just to finish off with a summary of the various support that we offer for Erasmus Plus applicants. If you are looking to apply, as mentioned, we have guidance documents and videos available on our website and YouTube channel. Please also keep an eye out for live webinars and one-to-one support calls, which you can find out about either through Twitter, our website, or our newsletter, which you can subscribe to using this link below. If you do need to get in touch with us, we're available to call on 0161 957 7755 from 8 AM till 6 PM. Or alternatively, you can email us on erasmusplus.inquiries@britishcouncil.org. Okay, and that wraps us up for this Erasmus Plus Schools Opportunities video. Thanks very much for your time and best of luck with all your future applications.